The government just approved something that could put over $2,000 directly into the pockets of millions of Americans starting this month. And if you're collecting Social Security, you need to pay attention right now, because this could change everything about your February payment. If you find this information valuable, hit that subscribe button so you never miss important updates that could affect your benefits. So let's talk about what's actually happening here, because there's a lot of confusion swirling around about these payments, and I want to make sure you have the facts. The term stimulus is being thrown around, but what we're really looking at is a combination of several different payment programs that are rolling out in February 2026. And for some people, yes, this could mean receiving over $2,000. The key is understanding whether you qualify and what you need to do to make sure you get every penny you're entitled to. First, let's address the Social Security payments themselves. The standard Social Security retirement benefits for February 2026 are being distributed according to the usual schedule, but here's what's different this year. The cost of living adjustment that went into effect in January 2025 meant that many recipients saw their monthly payments increase significantly. For someone who was receiving the average benefit of around $1,400, that COLA bump brought their monthly payment up considerably. Now, when you combine that with the supplemental payments that certain qualifying individuals are receiving, you start to see how that $2,000 figure becomes a reality for many Americans. The Social Security Administration distributes payments based on your birth date, and this hasn't changed. If you were born between the 1st and 10th of the month, your payment arrives on the second Wednesday of each month. If you were born between the 11th and 20th, you get paid on the third Wednesday. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the fourth Wednesday. For February 2026, that means payments are going out on the 12th, 19th, and 26th. However, if you started receiving benefits before May 1997, or if you receive both Social Security and SSI, your payment typically comes on the 3rd of the month, which would be February 3rd. Now, here's where things get interesting and where that extra money comes into play. Several states have approved their own supplemental payment programs to help residents cope with rising costs, and these are stacking on top of regular Social Security benefits. California, for example, has implemented a state-level supplement for certain low-income seniors and people with disabilities. New York has a similar program. These state supplements can add anywhere from a few hundred to over $1,000 to your monthly income, depending on your situation and where you live. When you add your regular Social Security benefit, any state supplement you qualify for, and potentially a one-time payment that some states are issuing, that's when you reach that $2,100 or even $2,200 mark for February. There's also the Supplemental Security Income Program, which is separate from Social Security retirement benefits, but often gets lumped together in these discussions. SSI provides monthly payments to people with limited income and resources who are disabled, blind, or age 65 or older. The maximum federal SSI payment for an individual in 2026 is over $900, and many states add their own supplement on top of that. If you're receiving both Social Security retirement or disability benefits and SSI, your combined payment could easily exceed $2,000, especially with the recent increases. But let's talk about eligibility, because this is where a lot of people get tripped up. Not everyone receiving Social Security is going to see their payment jump to $2,000 or more. Your payment amount depends on several factors, including your work history, the age at which you claim benefits, whether you're receiving any additional supplements, and your state of residence. The people most likely to receive over $2,000 in February are those who have a strong earnings history and delayed claiming benefits until age 70, those who qualify for both Social Security and SSI, those living in states with generous supplement programs, or those who are receiving a special one-time payment in addition to their regular benefit. There have also been discussions about targeted relief payments for specific groups. Some proposals that gained traction in late 2025 focused on providing additional support to Social Security recipients who were hit hardest by inflation over the past few years. While a universal stimulus payment, like what we saw during the pandemic, hasn't been approved, there are targeted programs that certain individuals can access. Veterans receiving Social Security may qualify for additional VA benefits that aren't widely advertised. People who worked in certain industries or for certain employers might have pension benefits that coordinate with Social Security, and there are special programs for widows, widowers, and surviving divorced spouses that can significantly increase total monthly income. The important thing to understand is that these payments are not automatic across the board. If you think you might qualify for any supplemental programs or additional benefits, you need to take action. The Social Security Administration isn't always going to reach out and tell you about every program you might be eligible for. You need to check your My Social Security account regularly, contact your local Social Security office if you think you're missing out on benefits you should be receiving, research state and local programs in your area that might provide additional assistance, and consider consulting with a benefits specialist if your situation is complex. Let me address some of the specific programs that are contributing to these higher payment amounts. The special minimum benefit is something many people don't know about. If you worked for many years but had relatively low earnings, you might qualify for a special minimum benefit that's higher than what you'd normally receive based on your earnings record. This can add a significant amount to your monthly payment. Then there's the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset, which actually reduce benefits for some people, but recent legislative efforts have aimed at reforming or eliminating these reductions. If you were previously affected by WEP or GPO, changes to these rules could mean you're now entitled to higher payments. For married couples, the strategy of coordinating benefits can result in much higher household Social Security income. Spousal benefits, survivor benefits, and the timing of when each person claims can make a massive difference. A household could easily be receiving $3,000 or more per month in combined Social Security income if both spouses have good earnings records and claim strategically. Some of the $2,000 plus payments we're seeing are actually representing one spouse's benefit while the other spouse receives their own payment separately. The economic relief payments being discussed for February 2026 also include potential one-time payments for people who meet specific hardship criteria. Some states set aside emergency funds to help residents struggling with housing costs, medical expenses, or other financial challenges. If you're a Social Security recipient facing financial hardship, you might qualify for a one-time payment that would arrive around the same time as your regular February benefit, making that month's total income appear much larger than usual. These aren't technically stimulus payments in the traditional sense, but they serve a similar purpose. What should you do right now to make sure you're getting everything you're entitled to? Log into your My Social Security account and review your payment history and benefit estimates. If something looks wrong or lower than you expected, that's a red flag to investigate further. Check whether your state offers any supplement programs for Social Security recipients. Many people leave money on the table simply because they don't know these programs exist. Review your tax situation because some Social Security benefits are taxable, and depending on your total income, you might owe taxes on a portion of your benefits. Understanding this ahead of time prevents surprises. Consider whether you've had any life changes that might affect your benefits, like getting married, divorced, or widowed. These events can open up new benefit options you weren't previously eligible for. If you're not yet receiving Social Security but are getting close to eligibility age, this is also relevant to you. The decisions you make about when to claim and how to coordinate with other benefits will determine whether you're in that $2,000 plus category or receiving significantly less. For every year you delay claiming past your full retirement age up to age 70, your benefit increases by about 8%. That can make the difference between a modest monthly payment and a substantial one. The reality is that while not everyone will receive over $2,000, many people are receiving more than they realize they're entitled to, and many others are receiving less because they haven't explored all their options. February 2026 represents an opportunity to reassess your situation, especially with the various programs and supplements now available. The money is there, but you have to know where to look and how to access it. Whether you're already receiving benefits or approaching retirement age, taking the time to understand the full landscape of available programs could literally be worth thousands of dollars to you over the coming years. Don't leave money on the table that you've earned and deserve.